afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. The program will be starting in 4 minutes. So grab your seats. 4 minutes, we're going to be starting. Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the JOY. We are so happy you are here. Good to see your beautiful faces. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing Bria Calpin, who's going to come up here and sing the Black National Anthem for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you turn to the back of your program, you can find the words to lift every voice and sing Black National Anthem. So if you all could just please join in and sing along with me, that would be great. Okay. All right. Ready? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Thank you.
My name is Sharazazi Dyson, and both sides of my family are descendants of enslaved people. One generation of my ancestors can be found in Tennessee on my father's side. On my mother's side, Arkansas. I am the first generation to work and live on this specific territory. This is important to share because Black people as well have been colonized and displaced, and our voice in conversations about whiteness and colonialism is not only needed, but necessary. Northwestern Campus sits on the traditional homelands of the people of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Ottawa, as well as the Menominee, Miami, and the Ho-Chunk nations, and the nations beyond number whose names we no longer remember because of colonialism. The native and indigenous folks of this land do not merely exist in the past, but are in our present, alive in tight-knit communities, preserving their language, culture, and practices. We as members of Northwestern University must continue to work to acknowledge and honor the peoples of which this very land was taken from. One way we do is by reflecting and citing land acknowledgements during ceremonies like this. Let this acknowledgement be an example of groups coming together around shared experiences of marginalization and violence, but also of perseverance and strength. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. My name is Alicia Rains. I use the pronouns she, her, and hers, and I work as an assistant director in the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs. We are so grateful to have you here today. Welcome to the JOY. I want to say thank you and welcome to the family, to the friends, to the guardians, to all the people who are here today who have supported and stood behind and held the hands of and sat with our graduates, whether it be before they got here or while they were here, and we know that you'll hold and continue to support them thereafter. We thank you for traveling from near, from far to be here today, and we are so grateful you're here today with us. To the class of 2019, you did it. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. And just to brag on you a little bit more, can all the members of the class of 2019 please stand to be recognized? You all look beautiful. Congratulations. You may be seated. As some of you may know, we recently lost an esteemed colleague here at Northwestern. Vice President Dr. Patricia Tejas-Irvin deeply cared about communities served by Multicultural Student Affairs. She paid great attention to the journey of our students, and she fiercely advocated for their support. We uplift her and commit to her legacy of making Northwestern University a more inclusive place. We know she would have been grateful to everyone here, and we surround our students with love, joy, and community. Join me now as we take a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. So a few other things, right? So we're here celebrating the joy today. And so, I think it's really important, as Shara mentioned, our ancestors, and that we acknowledge and we uplift the people who have done work before us. This event wouldn't be possible without those who have come before us to make this event possible. So some names I want to uplift and bring into this space would include Charles Kellum, would include Tamara Johnson, would include Kristen Lawson as well. These are folks who did the groundwork to start this ceremony, and we're so grateful to them, and we wouldn't have this tradition and this ceremony without their hard work. So I just want to give a round of applause for those people. Marian Wright Edelman said this: "Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it." Graduates, I urge you to think about your communities, your neighborhoods, the spaces you occupy, and consider this question: how are you going to make an impact? How are you going to leave those spaces better than which you have found it? That is the charge I leave you with today. Once again, congratulations, and we look forward to celebrating with you all. And now we're going to have Bailey Ellis and Dom McQuater come up here. They have a couple of remarks on behalf of the class of 2019.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominique McQuitter.
And I'm Bailey Ellis.
And on behalf of the class of 2019, we would like to welcome everyone to this year's JOY celebration. Thank you all for coming out or making time to view the ceremony via live stream. The JOY is an annual capstone ceremony that honors the Black graduates at Northwestern and their hard work throughout their time here. Every day, we as Black students are reminded that we are marginalized, that we are both invisible and hypervisible, on this campus, and that our calls for justice and equality can and will be silenced. Yet, we are told over and over how privileged we are to attend such a prestigious institution like Northwestern. This is why ceremonies like the JOY are so important, because today we're allowed to acknowledge that we are part of the greater Northwestern community, and that we have gone above and beyond to improve the experience for all. So really, Northwestern is privileged for us to be here.
The JOY is also a time to recognize not only the Black grads, us, but also those who got us to and through each trying year here at Northwestern, our loving families, loyal friends, and members of the faculty and staff who acted as family and loved on us during our time here. As you, families, and loved ones will hear many times throughout this weekend, your love, support, phone calls, encouragement, money, hey Dad, helped us get to where we are today. And even if we didn't make it known as often as we should, we are truly grateful. To the people on campus who stood in the gap and genuinely cared for us as individuals and a Black community, we thank you all for all that you have done for us and will continue to do for Black students on this campus. So now, we would like to present the JOY tribute video through which some of us reflected on our experiences at NU and the people who have impacted us along the way, the literal journey of our years here at Northwestern. On behalf of the class of 2019, we would like to say thank you and farewell, and we hope you enjoy the video.
Bear with us for a moment. And you have audio on?
Thank you for your patience. We give you the tribute video. We're gonna pause that.
That orange individual in the White House.
Trump too, but like.
We good on sound?
Donald Trump got elected.
Can you all hear?
Ooh, child.
That orange individual in the White House.
Trump too, but like, ugh.
Everybody keeps saying Trump.
I mean, like, the easy answer is Trump. I think Zika also happened.
Oh, who died? Somebody died.
I distinctly remember when I was abroad that the Charlottesville riot was happening.
I remember a lot of different sports teams were winning for no reason. Why was the Cleveland Cavaliers, why were they winning? I don't know. The Cubs, why do the Cubs need to win?
XXXTentacion died, Mac Miller died, Lil Peep died. Like within the same year, Nipsey Hussle just died, Aretha Franklin died. I'm gonna be the one on this video talking about all the people that died, RIP.
What I was paying attention to were all the new black movies.
Obama was president my freshman year, that was lit.
Moonlight, Get Out, Sorry to Bother You.
Northwestern actually did good things in sports for a change.
I'm the outgoing president of Northwestern Community Ensemble, the gospel choir here on campus, and I just love the choir. It's the best of both worlds. I get to be around black people, I get to sing, and I get to praise God.
One of my favorite black orgs is NCE, gospel choir. We be singing, we be having fun, and it's just one of those spaces where it was really a time where I felt like I could be myself and just enjoy the people that I'm around.
The Black Mentorship Program in Northwestern's Community Ensemble. One thing I love about the Black Mentorship Program is that we are challenged to kind of explore what it means to be black people on this campus and just in the United States, and also affirming each other in our identity.
FMO, NABJ, all of these different beautiful, orgs that we have. But Delta has been my just heart and the best thing that I've ever been a part of. In college, outside of college, and I'm so happy that I get to take that with me throughout the rest of my life, and I'm so thankful for the bond that I've created with my sorors.
Slim pickings here.
My favorite black professor is probably Professor Hesse. That's my dog.
Mary Patillo, she's like a second mom to me, has guided me through many, many steps during my time at Northwestern, because she was my posse mentor. And then I also think of my Professor Petty, probably one of the few reasons why I stayed in RTVF. Just one of those professors that really, really cares, has a lot of knowledge, but also has like super interesting classes.
I took 2 classes with Ruel Rogers, and they were both 2 of my favorite classes at Northwestern. He's an amazing professor, and I highly suggest that anybody that hasn't taken his class that isn't graduating, you should take his classes.
Of course, Daphne. I see her almost every day because I'm in the Black House almost every day.
Daphne for sure. Daphne is a great person. Daphne has been a great mentor, a great resource for me. And I probably don't tell her enough, but I do appreciate, having gotten the chance to get to know Daphne.
The Bursar sit-in in the Black House. And I think that was around the time that I was first becoming coordinator and really immersing myself in a different way into the black community.
Being a part of NCE, our concerts have been some of my greatest and favorite times at Northwestern. Being in that space where we just love each other unconditionally, and it's regardless of your background and where you come from, we are family.
Probably getting flown to Qatar.
Going to South Africa and being able to connect with some of the students, because a lot of the black grad students, we have different Like, we do different things, but when a lot of us went to South Africa, we were able to connect on a deeper level.
I did a pre-orientation program called BioExcel, and I came from a predominantly white institution, and I never felt comfortable being Black, but it wasn't until I did BioExcel, met other Black students with similar interests as me, did I feel like it was okay to be who I am.
Like, I remember actually like going to like La Machina, like the bar that's downtown, and like it was like I think one of the like Black after parties was hosted there, and then I think people were playing. That's when All Right by Kendrick Lamar just came out. So like the song comes on, everyone like looks around, like does the big like arm circle, and everyone's just jumping like "We gonna be all right" over and over and over again, just like screaming. You can feel the floor shaking.
The couches, you know. Couches were definitely my preferred nap locations.
Just having a space for Black community to come together, and a place where you didn't have to kind of be immersed in the white society that surrounds us.
It's a homey feeling. It's some place that everybody was able to relax and unwind. The sense of home and like comfort, and knowing that there's a place for me to go where I can just be myself and I can chill, I can do homework, I can kick it, we can blast music. We've thrown parties in the Black House. We also come here when we're struggling and we just need a second to, you know, recuperate and recharge.
I always feel like I can be myself. I don't feel like I need to hide parts of who I am to just be, and I always feel welcomed.
Folks are not afraid to speak their mind, and as a blunt person, it's very refreshing.
I know it's small, but I think the comfort is cool, especially in places where you don't see a lot of people like you. Like I remember just the other day, I was like walking through Tech, like the big engineering building on campus, and like I saw a random person I didn't know, he was Black, and like you don't have to know someone to give them a little nod when you walk past the hallway, just a little bit of acknowledgement to like recognize it, like, yo, you're here, I'm here, we're both here, like we understand what's up.
The resilience that we show and the innovation that we have, we're always coming up with something new.
Black people at Northwestern are persistent. Like sometimes it's annoying and sometimes it is motivating, but Black community here is persistent and it's always present through individuals pushing for it to be present.
How we always come together, even though we don't really know each other, we always find like that type of community, and when we convene, it's always lit, for lack of a better word.
Most thankful for my mom. She's always there to support me, and I really appreciate that.
I am most thankful for just my team, and my team is large, but the leader of my team for sure, my mom. Like, my mom is a rock and has been my rock. So shout out to my team and a special one to my mom.
I'm most thankful for my mom, my G-mom, my grandma, and my granddaddy, because those were the three people who raised me and got me to this point to be able to graduate from Northwestern University. I never could have imagined that I could come to a school like this and come to a school like this for free thanks to Questbridge, but also just thanks to the endless support of my family.
It's like, who am I not thankful for? My mom, my sister, family for keeping me down, holding me down rather, not keeping me down, holding me down. Put my head on straight, my good friends, a good support system of people.
Definitely my dad. I'm thankful for my dad. I'm thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for my brothers, everybody who supported me during my time here. Leslie Ann, oh my God, I'm getting choked. She is so amazing. She was there, she's always been there for me since I met her. She was at first my advisor for NCE when we were kind of advisorless, and that's how we built a relationship. And since then, I don't know, I can't imagine what my experience at Northwestern would be like without her. She's just supported me, been my biggest cheerleader. She wrote a letter for me for Fulbright. And I feel like she always has my back even when she's not here.
I definitely am most thankful for my parents. I know that there's no way I would be at the place I am in my life without them. I definitely don't tell them that enough. But just to have them as my biggest cheerleaders, especially when going through really, really difficult, tough times at Northwestern where you just feel really isolated, I think, or you may feel that there's no one you can really talk to. I know that I always have them to go to if I need assistance, and just either like talking about my day or something really difficult that I've been dealing with.
Daphne, because she's been a presence in the Black House that's been around since my freshman year. Northwestern has been filled with a lot of ups and downs, and Daphne has always been there. She's always checked in on me. She's always been asking me how I'm doing, how am I making it. Sometimes when I just spend the night in the Black House, she knows it's been rough for me. She'll like bring me water and just kind of talk to me and see how I'm doing. So it's been great to just have her around.
My grandma, who told me just kind of keep your head up, because she was just like, this is going to be a big experience, so just have fun. I'm thankful for my friends. I've had to call them like every week, like, oh my God, I want to drop out. I have 2 weeks left, so I'm not going to do that. I'm thankful for the friends that I've made here, because like I said, we've been able to really come together and we've developed these strong bonds. And in spite of like kind of the stress of being in Northwestern, we've been able to just rise above it and just kind of come together and have a lot of fun. And I'm also thankful for a lot of the professors who've been mentors, such as Dr. Greenwell, Professor Dees, Professor Chris Benson. I think joy is being creative, because I'm a poet, so I just like writing poetry, making art, and joy is just being able to make that art without restrictions.
Knowing that there's someone I can go to, and also being a person that others can come to, just brings me joy.
Wherever there's laughter, wherever I feel like I'm at home. So that doesn't have to be like my physical home, but any body or any place that has made me feel like I can be myself.
Good people and good food, and when you put them together, it's just perfect.
Anything that makes me laugh, I guess that's what it means to me. Anything that makes my day brighter, anything that makes a dull moment a bright one.
Joy means having a mentality that can withstand just fluctuations in mood, and having a certain mentality that allows you to persevere through things even when they're not tough, but knowing that better times are ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claudia Kalisa, and I'm a sophomore studying industrial engineering here at Northwestern. I am here to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Ms. Njoki Kamau. Njoki Kamau joined the Women's Center at Northwestern University in September 1991 as the Associate Director. She previously served as the Director of the Evanston North Shore YWCA's Domestic Violence Services Program. Njoki earned her MBA from Southern Methodist University. She holds a master's in international management from the American Graduate School of International Management. Njoki attended Nairobi University, where she earned her undergraduate degree in business administration. In 2007, Njoki was honored by Mayor Richard Daley by being the recipient of the Chicago Distinguished Immigrant Award. Also in 2007, Njoki received the Greg Kendall Ally Award from Northwestern University LGBTQ Resource Center. Njoki has also been honored by the Organization of Women Faculty for her contributions to women of Northwestern. In 2017, Njoki received her Service Excellence Certificate for her services to the Northwestern community, and in 2018, the Women's Center inaugural Shuja Award. This was in recognition of her long-standing commitment to the women's community at Northwestern. Njoki will also be receiving a certificate in coaching from the School of Education and Social Policy at the end of this week. Her article, From Kenya to North America, One Woman's Journey, was published in issue A Journal of Opinion in 1996 and has been reprinted in No Easy Victories, African Liberation and American Activists over half a century, from 1950 to 2000. A lifelong community activist, Njoki works regularly with United to End Racism and other social justice organizations. Let me welcome Ms. Njoki Kamau.
There are a lot of papers here, so I need to get a little organized. Okay. Hello, everyone. Jambo, habari yako? See, I'm home. Now I can go and sit down, right? Okay. So, as you heard, I have a little timer here so that I can be timing myself even as I'm being timed. Yeah, I mean, this is really a great honor for me. First of all, let me start with a big congratulations for the class of 2019. Well done. I want to say in Swahili, for those of you, because somebody greeted me in Swahili, hongera. Hongera means congratulations in Swahili. And Swahili, as some of you may know, is an African language that is spoken mostly in Kenya, Tanzania, and Eastern Congo. Well done for surviving what no doubt has been a grueling journey of 4 years. It is a real honor, as I said, for me to be sharing this special day with you. And I'm also feeling kind of emotional. This is not on my, as part of my remarks. As we were singing the national anthem, the Black national anthem, the last verse, which says, "True to our native land." And I want to assume, I have always assumed that our native land, when those descendants of early Africans who were brought here by force, were really remembering their native land. And the native land is Africa, because that is the home of Black people. So I feel like I've come full circle. I may be a foreigner here. I'm called a foreigner by Trump, but I'm actually at home. And I'm only at home because we who come here from Africa, from the Caribbean, we stand on the shoulders of those of your descendants who have gone before and fought the battle so that we can be here. So I want to say thank you to your descendants and to you all. So that's very emotional, and I'm not gonna get emotional before you. I wasn't invited here to speak to get emotional, right? Right. So thank you, and to all those that have made it possible for you, I'm addressing the graduates, to come this far. Your families, friends, mothers, fathers, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, indeed the entire extended family. And of course, we will not forget those professors and teaching assistants, some of whom you will have fond memories of as you go forward, and others, I might say, whom you might rather forget. So, even though no doubt you have worked very hard, it has been a village to get you here. It has taken a village, as we had in the video. It has taken a village to get you here. All those family members and friends. Indeed, it takes a village. It takes a village is an African saying, and I know that Hillary Clinton has written a book titled, "It Takes a Village and Other Lessons Children Teach Us." But as an African, I am happy to see that a phrase I grew up hearing all the time slowly make its way into our daily language. So where did I grow up exactly? I grew up in a small village in the Central Highlands of Kenya among the Kikuyu people. In the village, we related to all the moms as our moms, and they related to us as if we were their children. If we were hungry and your mom was not around, they gave you food. if we were doing something that we were not supposed to, they disciplined us. It was not wise to complain to your mom because your mom would then want to know, what were you doing? You might find yourself being disciplined again when a mom, disciplined again. When a mom asked you to babysit, as I often remember being asked to babysit, while she went to get firewood or water from the river, you could not say, oh no, I'm playing, I'm busy. I couldn't. So that I would put the baby on my back, we tie babies on our back, and I would be hopping around with my friends and hoping that, the mom didn't come around and see me jumping around with her baby. So this idea of it takes a village is at the core of the African cultural value system. It is what, for example, the Zulu people in South Africa call Ubuntu, the Sudu in Botswana, Boto, the Kikuyu in Kenya, Omodo, and in Swahili, Ubinadamu. Translated into English, the term simply means humanity towards others. I am because we are, and we are because I am. We are all interconnected and interdependent. Ubuntu means the essence of being human. When it is there and when it is absent. It speaks about humanness, gentleness, and hospitality, putting yourself out there on behalf of others. It embraces compassion and toughness. It recognizes that my humanity is bound up in yours and yours in mine, for we can only be human together. And now, let us show our appreciation one more time by clapping our hands for our village. Now, I have to say, if I was in Kenya or in an African celebration here in the US, I would ululate. Ululating is that high note sound that African women make during times of celebration. Celebrations like this one, but then I remembered I'm at NU. Thank you for giving me permission. Now I do feel like I'm really in a celebration. When I was asked to speak by Alicia, even though I felt honored, I hesitated at first. I wondered, what would I tell them? These young adults have for 4 years sat through hours and hours of lectures and advice-giving sessions. I in no way wanted to subject you to another boring lecture. But then, as I was reflecting about what I could say, it struck me that there was a time when I sat in your very shoes. Many, many moons ago. I won't tell you when. After I graduated with a bachelor's degree in business from Nairobi University. Thinking back, I found myself asking the question, what would I have wanted those older adults around me to tell me? I realized that as an elder, that is me as an elder, not you as an elder, but me as an elder, that I have had experiences that you have not gone through yet. And as such, I might have a word or two of wisdom to share with you. In Africa, we think of elders as having wisdom. As I continued to reflect what I might want to share with you, 5 things came to me. I call this part of my conversation with you, Botho and life lessons. Botho, as we just heard earlier on, Botho is, in English, means humanness. 1, failure does not define you, but it is often the first step on your way to success. You have come this far because you are willing to risk failure. Failing is not easy to swallow. For some of us, it is where we stop. We conclude that we are not smart as we thought, or that something is wrong with us, and therefore we think that it is time to quit. One time on my way to a meeting on campus, I met someone who works at the Northwestern University Library. She was wearing a t-shirt that caught my attention. On it was written in big letters the word failure. I thought to myself, why would someone want to wear a t-shirt written on it failure? Normally, we wear t-shirts that have uplifting messages. But as I drew closer and we started talking, I noticed a line below the word failure, written in small letters. This really intrigued me even more. Unfortunately, I did not have my glasses on, as I have them now. And so instead of squinting my eyes trying to read, I asked her what the words were. She said without missing a beat, "The home of brilliance." And now giving you the whole sentence, failure, the home of brilliance. I responded, wow. I got it. Failure is an opportunity to learn how you could have done things differently. It gives us opportunities to learn about ourselves and about what we are trying to accomplish. It is not a permanent prison sentence. To me, the most important thing when it comes to failure is that I tried, that you tried. Yes, succeeding is important, but without trying, it is impossible to get to success. 2, life is a journey, not a destination. Yes, it has been a long, arduous journey to get here, but this is not your final destination. In fact, it is the beginning of an interesting and adventurous phase of your life. No doubt, there are more hills to climb and interesting things to discover, but you are already on the way to living a big and fulfilling life. Graduating from Northwestern, we hope, has given you a good start. One time, I ran a senior support group at the Women's Center. I remember how stressed those students were. They were anxious about what was coming next. They worried that they had not figured out their whole lives already. I kept impressing upon them that life is a journey to be traveled one step at a time. That was year 2000. I am still in touch with the whole group. This group includes a lawyer with 2 kids now, a professor in education, a mother in data analytics, a financial professional, and a mother who is a social justice activist. They bonded and have remained in touch with each other. The other day, we met at the Women's Center to paint a banner for a social justice event to end sexual violence. It is obviously important to plan, but it is also good. It's good to remain flexible and to remember that your lives will happen in chunks of present time moments. The quality of being flexible is a great gift to have because no matter how well you plan, there are times when life will surprise you. It will surprise you with sharp corners that you are not expecting. I have had a few of my own. Going forward, it is easier to figure out your life bit by bit. I have often heard the saying that the only time that we have is present time. I'm watching my time, and if I had time, I would go into what brought me into the United States, but in a sentence or two, I came as a Fulbright student to pursue graduate management, went to Southern Methodist University. That was a culture shock. Yeah, the Texan country, and went to Phoenix, Arizona for the Master's in International Business, and came to Northwestern University. I was the first Black woman to enroll in a PhD program at Kellogg. The other now sad part of that story, that was my 4th degree. I thought I was smart. That's why I'm talking about failure and saying that you can pivot, you can turn it around, and to let it not define you, is because of the racism at Kellogg. And you can imagine, I enrolled in September at 1978. So if you can think of Northwestern the way it is now, I don't want to say racist, I didn't say it. You didn't hear it from me. You didn't hear it from your keynote speaker. But that, if you can think of 1978, a Northwestern of then, it was really a different kind of Northwestern. And because of the issues in my department, they did not give me money to finish my PhD, so actually I finished my coursework. I'm an ABD from Kellogg. ABD means all but dissertation. At the same time, I was also going through, I was a young woman, I was in a relationship. I was also being in an abusive relationship. And again, I don't want to get into that. I would end up in a domestic violence program, which is the Evanston North Shore YWCA program to deal with, I was actually in a relationship with another grad student. And, out of that experience, which was very difficult because I was far away from my family, I was alone here, it was really a very difficult time. I actually, again, it's a long story, but I'm cutting it short. I ended up becoming the director of the same program where I was a client, so I became its director, and eventually I ended up at Northwestern because people ask me, you have business degrees, how do you work with women? And that's because of the personal experience I had as, in a relationship that was abusive, and I pivoted, and I turned that around, and now I help other women to figure out things. So, you are enough. That's the third one. Often we are plagued with doubts about ourselves, wishing we were somebody else, while in fact, we're just fine as who we are. There is nothing wrong in aspiring to become better or looking up to good role models, but the most important thing is to become the best you. You are smart, you are good, and you have a very good mind. Number 4, appreciate yourself, especially your struggles and triumphs. Just think about how much you have had to overcome to get here. We grow through our struggles. We are transformed by them in a good way. They become part of our rich history, and each one of us is a unique story in the making. We weave our stories throughout our lives. Even at my age, I am still weaving mine. 5, you are responsible for your own joy. I love that this is called joy. The joy that I am talking about, though, is not just a feeling. It is not something that comes and goes. It is something much more profound. It is a way of approaching life. It is slightly different from happiness, although they are in the same family. Many of us are waiting for happiness or joy. We are happy, for example, when we get a job, when we fall in love, when we get rich. Nothing wrong with getting rich. A few dollars would help, especially those with financial loans. Yes. I was remembering at, is it Morehouse, the famous story of the commencement speaker and how he offered to clear the loans. I wish I could, but. Happiness is more immediate, but it is kind of fleeting. I like how Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa talks about joy. Archbishop Desmond Tutu is a Nobel laureate. He is the architect of the highly reputed Post-Apartheid Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Joy is when we seek to do good to others. It is how we are made. We are wired to be compassionate. We are wired to be caring for the other and generous to one another. We shrivel when we are not able to interact. That is why solitary confinement is such a horrendous punishment. We depend on the other in order for us to be fully who we are. This is the concept of Ubuntu that we have in South Africa. This is Archbishop Tutu talking, that a person is a person through others. Ubuntu, as you remember, means humanness. And now, as I come to the end of my closing remarks, I would like to end by highlighting two iconic people. The good thing is that we as Black people have many iconic people, so I just happened to pick two. I would like to end by highlighting one. On Monday, and now I have to silence I know I have just a few minutes, 5 more minutes, and I'll be done. I would like to, on Monday, January 28, 2013, I was sitting in the audience at Pig's Tiger, listening to the keynote speaker, Harry Belafonte. For those of you who may not know him, Harry is an American singer, songwriter, activist, and actor. He's quite a character. One of the most successful Jamaican-American pop stars in history. He was dubbed the King of Calypso. Belafonte was an early supporter of the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 1960s, and one of Martin Luther King's confidants throughout his career. He has been an advocate for political and humanitarian causes. As I sat in the audience, he had been invited to celebrate Martin Luther King's commemoration of that year. As I sat in the audience in Pig's Tiger, I remember him in the middle of his speech directly addressing the students. He talked about how major social change movements had started on college campuses. He went on to urge the students to think, listen, outside the box. While colleges and universities are producing, while colleges and universities are producing students who will be competent in doing their jobs, Belafonte argued that they could do better also in producing students who will be leaders. Leaders who will be able to help us solve the challenging problems that our world is facing. So again, the challenge on your plate, class of 2019, think outside the box. The second person I would like to highlight is a woman from my own country. She's the first African woman to be a Nobel Prize winner, Wangari Maathai. Wangari Maathai, a Kenyan woman, was the founder of the Green Belt movement. She was big on environment. That's what she got her Nobel Prize. And the 2000 Nobel Peace Prize laureate. She authored 4 books, The Green Belt Movement, Unbowed, a memoir, The Challenge for Africa and Replenishing the Earth, as well as having been featured in a number of books. She and the Green Belt Movement were the subject of a documentary film, Taking Root, The Vision of Wangari Maathai. That was 2008. When she came to speak on our campus, I heard her twice. She came twice to the campus. One of them was at Thorn Auditorium, and that was like 1,000 people present. There was this, she told this story, as she loves to tell this story, of the hummingbird. There was this big forest that was being consumed by this big fire. All the animals fled to the edge of the forest and stood there transfixed, not knowing what to do. They felt powerless and completely overwhelmed, except for this little hummingbird that decided to do something. It kept darting back and forth to a nearby stream and filling its small beak with water. And then it would pour these drops of water on the fire. The other animals were laughing at the hummingbird and saying, "What do you think you are doing? Do you really think you can put out this fire with such little water? You are so small." Even the big animals like the elephant that could have brought more water with their big trunks were discouraging the hummingbird. the hummingbird, but the hummingbird turned to the animals and said, I'm doing what I can. I am doing what I can. Wangari urges us to be like the hummingbird in our communities. There is always something that each one of us can do to make our world better, a better place for all of us. Collectively, we can make a difference. So class of 2019, I urge you to try to be like a hummingbird in your communities. For as Wangari tells us, no matter how dark the cloud, there is always a thin silver lining. And that is what we must look for. The silver lining will come, if not to us, then to the next generation, or the next generation after that. And maybe, with that generation, the lining will no longer be thin. Congratulations, class of 2019. All the best. Thank you. Asante.
Can we give Joki another round of applause? Joki, thank you for your insights. Thank you for your experience. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being our keynote today. And now I'd like to ask Crystal Black to come up here. She has a couple remarks she'd like to share on behalf of Northwestern University Black Alumni Association, also called NUBA.
Good afternoon, graduates, family, faculty, and fellow staff members. My name is Crystal, and I am the Senior Associate Director of Alumni Engagement, Diversity, and Inclusion with the Northwestern Alumni Association. I am also an alumna myself, class of 2007. I just want to start by congratulating each and every one of you for this outstanding accomplishment. You and your families should be very proud of what you have done. We are so proud of what you have done. And me, as a Black alum, looking at all of your bright, beautiful faces, my goodness, I am so proud of you. This is not an easy thing you have pulled off. Don't let anyone tell you different. And in case you need to hear this, you are different. You are special, and you are wonderfully made. I want to take a brief moment to talk to you about NUBA, about the family that awaits you now that you've done this awesome, amazing thing. The Northwestern University Black Alumni Association is an intergenerational extension of the beautiful relationships and community you've built among yourselves here at Northwestern. It is a network of big brothers and sisters, and when you get my age, also aunties and uncles. It is a vast source of networking and an endless pool of resources and support. It is a collection of individuals who have the shared experience of flourishing and surviving, but mostly flourishing, though, while attending this and graduating from this fine institution. So I encourage all of you to stay connected, to stay involved with this community via your alumni club. Because if it's one thing being Black at Northwestern will give you, it's family. The friendships are there. The bonds are there. And from someone 10 years out who still speaks to the best friends she made here every single day, they last. They aren't going anywhere. On behalf of NUBA and NAA, we would like to present you with a token of congratulations, an exclusive NUBA lapel pin. You're the first receiving this today. I will also be at a table in the lobby with pins for those of you who didn't get a chance to register today and to answer any questions you may have about the club. Special thanks to Dav and Alicia and for MSA for allowing us space here in the program to talk to you about the club. Again, we are so proud of you and so excited to welcome you to this next stage of life as a Wildcat. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you to Crystal. Thank you to NAA, ARD, and NUBA for those remarks. Thank you so much. So now we're going to get to our STOL presentation. So before we begin, you'll notice on this table we have Kente stoles, so I'd like to take a moment to tell you about them. Commencement season is one that evokes much joy and happiness as collegiate students gather with their networks of support to celebrate a huge milestone, graduating from college. Whether at Northwestern or any institution for that matter, matriculation from an institution of higher learning deserves celebratory activities. Regalia becomes a large part of how communities and institutions go about celebrating commencement. Long robes, hoods, caps, and tassels are assigned with various colors and meanings and distinctions. Stoles are one specific item of regalia that many graduates don at commencement. In particular, Kente stoles are typically worn by Black graduates paying homage to African heritage. Kente material can be traced back to the Ashanti people of what is now present-day Ghana. Kente is a general term to describe a specific type of fabric woven with cotton and silk that can be displayed in multiple patterns with various symbolic meanings. MSA chooses to provide Kente cloth stoles at the Journey of Our Years, the JOY Black Congratulatory Ceremony, as a way for students to display their cultural pride as they walk across the stage. With that, I'm going to ask Shara to come up. So as Shara comes up, just a brief overview of what this will look like. Shara will be reading the graduate names aloud. So graduates, you have your index card. Please bring that up to you to the stage. Hand it to Shara. Shara will read your name aloud via the pronunciation key you've left on the index card. As she calls your name, you'll walk down the stage. I will don you with the stole, and then we'll have a photographer right here to take a picture of you, and then we'll keep it moving. Thank you.
First row. Abdallah Ali. Adriana Matthews. Elisa Nazaire. Alonzo Mayo. Brianna Wilson. Brianna Willis. Correction, Brianna Willis. Braylon Saunders Effort. Bobby Burgess. Bailey Ellis. Ashley Dennis. Chisum Diana DeMarie. Chaz McCullum. Candace Nixon. Brian Jordan Holden. Brittany Owens. Crystal Fayemi. Anaya Akani. Danielle Underwood. Dante Gilmer. Derek Wallace. Dominique McQuitter. Drake Hills. Jared Thomas. Jamal Julian. Essence Birdsall. Ella Carr. Ebony Curry. Ebony JJ Curry. Let me correct that. Giovanna Plummer. Keisha Young. Jessica Saffold. John Moten IV. June Odera. Jawan Trotter. Kaylee Robinson. Kali Williams. Kristen Sanders. Kalia Hum. Oh, Kalia Humman. Lauren Crittenden. Gonna hold you there. Louis Lyons. Mark Anthony Warrior. Lauren Adams. Asia Ellis. Deidre Johnson. Marcus Luis. Mystica Straughter. Nilan Undolf. Adolf. Onyeyechi Jessica Ogumike. Raven Watson. Rebecca Angoyar. Simeon Charles. Sherry Gordon. Sayman Burnham. Rowan Hussein. Regine Sims. Shayi Aduyadoan. Aduyadoyan. Sydney Thomas. Skylar Ozo. Sydney Summerlin. Tasia Conway. Taylor Tyler. Teresa De Pinto. Tony Akunebu. Zoe Davis. Yasmin Wood. Whitney Tessie. Wenzel Akinboro. Tyra Trish. T. Ray Williams. Trey Williams. Joanna Gundape. Yasmin Diarra. Bria Calpin. Norma Ordiego. Chloe Forte. At this point, we will no longer have graduates come up. Please meet with one of the assistant directors or myself at the end of JOY if you need a stole. So this too, and then we're going to conclude the stole presentation. What's your name, dear? Fallon Parfait. And Aaron Lewis.
Yeah.
So now we will have Femi and Cleon come up here to present our superlatives.
You ready? Good afternoon to all graduates, parents, relatives, and friends.
Right now, we'll be doing senior superlatives. These were voted on by Black students at Northwestern and also by you all, the senior class. So this is just, to have fun. These are positive awards that, we can celebrate you all. So, yeah.
These awards, like he said, are for fun. It is our intention to celebrate, smile, and laugh with each other. Hope these different awards bring you joy.
All right, so when we call your name, just, come up. We have a nice little certificate for you. So without further ado, the first award is for hair goals. This award is for the person that just got the all-natural, luscious hair that's always setting the goals, They set the standard for all of us on campus that we got to reach, right? And the winner of this award is Lauren Adams. Oh, okay. I was Okay. Congratulations. Do I take a picture? You can if you want to.
This next award goes to the individual who has undergone the biggest transformation, mostly based on an increase in style and confidence. They have us all turning our heads, saying, "Is that who from freshman year?" Please give it up for Best Glow Up, Omar Carey. He's not present? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better luck next time.
Oh, I apologize.
All right, we're gonna keep moving along. So the next award is for the individual that the party doesn't begin until they show up. When he was in the room, everyone knew to clear up the dance floor because this man was about to take the stage. The award for life of the party goes to Frederick Bouget. Yes, sir. Hey, hey.
Next up is the person that stays on the grind. They don't got time to fool around because they're all about their business. Literally, she hasn't even graduated and she has her own business. Please give it up for biggest hustler, Kristen Sanders.
All right, and our next award is for the person that's always smiling, even when they may insult you to your face. They always have good vibes and positive energy, and they also happen to be the life of the party too. Frederick Bouget, most likely to brighten up your day. You gotta make sure you get your steps in, you know what I'm saying? Back to back, yes, sir.
This award goes to the individual who is considered the official live-in resident of the Black House. No matter what time, day, or occasion, you can find them there, posted up. Most likely to be in the Black House, Jamal Julian.
What's next? Yeah. You know, some things are meant to go together. You know, peanut butter, jelly, salt and pepper, milk and cookies. Oh yeah, bro. We got 2 years wait for it, you know what I'm saying? But this award goes to the duo that's been kicking it together just like this. They're an incredible pair. For dynamic duo, we have Omar Carey and Yasmin Wood. You can get. I mean,
Oh, I didn't get a song. Oh my God.
do you want? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ooh, the glow up one too.
Oh yeah. Got all the certificates.
This person is bomb, but y'all too busy playing around to notice. Y'all better recognize. Most slept on goes to Jessica Oni. We're not done. And Saymon Burnham. The only thing better than food is a great love story. This award goes to the couple that reminds us all how to love and how to be loved. Cutest couple goes to Sydney Thomas and Anaya Akani.
That's so beautiful. You know, every Raven needs a Chelsea and Eddie. Every Martin needs a Cole and Tommy. And this award is for the group of friends that are inseparable and committed to their friendship until the end. For squad goals, we have Bria Calpin, Jamila Silver, and Brianna Wilson. Let's see.
This award goes to the individual who is always overly friendly. They're known to have a way with the words and with the ladies. While some would call it flirting, they would simply just say, that's just how they move. Please give it up for biggest flirt, Alonzo Mayo.
He had a whole little step show. He's trying to stroll on stage. That's crazy. So this next award, very similar to a previous award that we've already said, but this award goes to the individual who is destined to make real dollars real soon and are already making real dollars right now. Their #1 mission is to secure the bag, an endless cash flow. And the winner, as I'm sure you've already guessed, is Miss Kristen Sanders. Back to back. Of course, we gotta give you a second. I know. Just cause we miss you too.
This award goes to this award goes to the individual who is always proud to wear Greek paraphernalia. They always got their gear on, and they're always bleeding black and gold. Most likely to be wearing Greek letters, Derek Wallace.
Yes, sir. That's what the people voted, bro. Blame your peers, bro.
Oh, I'm doing this one too.
All right, go ahead.
All right. This award goes to the individual who stays on Facebook, keeping us all up to date with the things we need to know and the things we don't want to know. Most likely to be posting in We Are Family, Christelle Fayemi.
If this individual doesn't find a career in their designated field right now, then they'll definitely have one in fashion. This award goes to someone who's always rocking a fit. For most stylish, Brianna Williams.
Now, this next award is pretty self-explanatory, but their future in this field in science will be forever revered. So most likely to cure a disease, Yasmin Diar. Now, we've saved the best for last. Now, this one goes to that one person that's always over the top, willing to do the extreme, and locked in at 10 at all times. They are the boldest of the bold and are always ready to defy the status quo. Most likely to be Wilden, Bria Kaplan.
All right, this concludes our senior superlatives. Congratulations to all of our wonderful winners. And now we are going to bring up Dav.
Can we give those two gentlemen a round of applause, please? You certainly brought a great deal of laughter and joy to us, so thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Multicultural Student Affairs, it is my honor to congratulate you on successfully completing your degrees from Northwestern University. We know how diligently you have worked to be here, and we know some of the sacrifices you've made to be here. We know how challenging this environment can be, and yet you still made it here. We also know the many relationships you have established, the countless memories you have created. We also know you may not have made it here without the assistance of your ancestors, family, friends, faith, and mentors. So graduates, please join me in giving your support system a round of applause. Now, I know that this event would not have been possible without many people. So first, I would like to thank the voices of our speakers who shared their insight and their wisdom. So please join me in thanking Bailey, Dominique, Crystal, and Joki. There is a committee and many volunteers who have dedicated their time to this community. So please raise your hand or stand if you are on the committee or are currently volunteering your time to be here. Come on, committee members, go ahead. We are a humble group, I see. A special thanks to the staff of Multicultural Student Affairs for all of their work. And last but certainly not least, a special thank you of distinction for Alicia and Shara for the coordination, the brilliance, time, and love they have dedicated to the JOY. Can you both please stand? Thank you. So as the formal element of the ceremony comes to a close, in just a few moments, I'll invite the graduates to come onto the stage and we will take your class photo. But before that, I also want to make sure that I invite you all to stay connected. You heard the beautiful words from Crystal Black from NAA, so please do reach out to NUBA, and please stay connected to MSA through our social media and through our email. And finally, I want to invite family to join us in the Lake Room for our reception following. Once again, congratulations. You have made us proud, but most importantly, we hope that you are proud of yourselves. Please stay in touch, and we wish you all the best on the next phase of this journey. Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
So, Kayvon, Isaac can get you upstairs. We're going over here to this side of the room. Can you direct people?
Graduates, you'll be to my right on the floor, standing. So while you all are standing, you want to try to get our shorter people towards the front, our taller people toward... Graduates, can you hear me? Graduates, continue to get yourselves situated. My shorter people towards the front, my taller people towards the back, and then find a window. Everyone face me and Alicia. We're gonna get a few angles. We've got a few angles, don't worry. Do we have all of our graduates in our corner? Find your window, look at Jesse. You. One moment. Okay, Jesse, hold your camera up. You are looking at Jesse. You are looking at Jesse. You are looking at Jesse. Jesse is the person with the big camera. We got blonde hair. We've got a black sweatshirt. Kayvon, don't move. Kayvon, don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Stay up there, Kayvon. Stay up there. Are you taking it from there? Yeah. Okay. All right, graduates, do not move. Graduates, do you see that photographer? Yep. Parents, families, and parents, and many photographers. We have to take a larger photo from above, so we'll need you all in your seats for a moment, just so we can get that picture from up top. Otherwise, you'll be in that shot.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I know you really want this picture, so guess what? We're going to send it back out to you, but it only works if we can take the picture. It only works if we can take the picture. I promise we will send it back out to you. Kayvon, give me a thumbs up if you have the angle that you need. Do you have other angle, or do you have anything else? No, you don't have it. Is this the angle that you need? Is there anyone blocking your image? So your image is being blocked right now? Thumbs up. You're good. Thumbs up. Okay. We're going to move out the way now. We're looking up there at Kayvon.
Oh, there you are, Bree.